Hey, welcome to this video. I'm your host, the Outdated Gen Z. That was stupid, I'm sorry. So yes, I did promise a Sonic Adventure review in my last video, but currently that video is going through some development hell, so I guess I'm gonna be doing another Wags' Game War instead for right now. And to be honest, I don't know when that review will come out, so yeah. So anyways, what's Wags' Game War? It's an ongoing series where I put 2 games against each other across 7 different categories. 5 categories that I use in every single Wags' Game War, and 2 exclusive categories for each matchup. But the thing is about this particular Wags' Game War, the second exclusive category sucks. I made it up completely last minute, and it's just really dumb, so yes, you can flame me for it once we get there. But let's just get it all started here. This matchup is a big one. The original Super Mario Bros. Versus the original Sonic the Hedgehog. But with that, I'm sorry for that long intro. Let's get this war started. So this is actually a very tough category for me, and I'm serious about this, because both Mario and Sonic's gameplay is so wildly different, and the fact I like these 2 styles of platformers, you can kinda see where I'm coming from, right? So the Mario gameplay, although very basic, is the perfect style of platforming. This is the game that practically revolutionized and perfected it. All you have to do is just go to the right side of the level and dodge some obstacles. You also have to hold a run button if you want to dodge certain obstacles like bottomless pits. And then you have to use that same run button to use the main big power-up, the fire flower in this case. And now if you deep dive a little bit, I guess I'm kind of complaining about the fact that you have to use the run button to use the power-up. So let's just go to the Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay. At first it's very similar in some ways and very different in other ways. Mostly for one because it's a platformer, but it requires you to go to the right side of the level and dodge some obstacles in some way. But in Sonic you don't have a run button, and the whole goal is to beat each level as fast as possible, except most levels in Sonic 1 doesn't take advantage of that at all. But to be honest, because this matchup has the original Super Mario Bros. Instead of a later game, I'll give the gameplay to Sonic the Hedgehog because the game was made in the 90s instead of the 80s, and it feels a lot more polished than Super Mario Bros. So accessibility, I don't really know how to ramble about this one since I had talked about the gameplay already. Automatically, Sonic clearly wins here. It's easier to control because it doesn't have a run button, and with the special ring mechanic this game has, as long as you have 1 ring, you're invincible. So yeah, sorry I can't ramble on that. Now I know it's a little unfair comparing Mario 1's art style to Sonic 1's art style because Sonic 1 is a 16-bit game, so I guess to balance things out, I'll do what I did back in my Super Mario Bros. 3 versus Super Mario World video, and use the All-Stars version to compare between these 2 games. And to be honest, yeah, I'm still gonna have to give this one to Sonic 1 regardless, because Sonic has more variety in what to look at, you know? Mario's just grass, underground, castle, while Sonic has all these different level styles to look at. And just look at it! There you go! I'm going to be fully honest, this was another tough category to decide on because I love both of these games' soundtracks. Even if, yes, Mario 1 is 8-bit compared to Sonic 1's 16-bit music. So to decide, I played rock, paper, scissors against myself, and Sonic won. I guess it makes sense though. Sonic does have more tracks than Mario here. Like for example, there's an actual boss theme in Sonic 1, unlike Mario 1, unless if you're counting the All-Stars version here, and I'm not right now. And I also have Spring Yard Zone on my playlist, so there you go. So although these are both very memorable games to me, I'm going to be honest here, there are only certain things I just keep on forgetting about each game for no reason. In Mario 1, I sometimes forget that there's warp zones. Yeah, I know this is a very stupid thing to talk about, Probably because in recent Mario games, the warp zones are just absurdly hidden and I forget about them, or they just aren't there in general. Now for Sonic 1, now that I think of it, I don't think I forgot a single thing, mostly because of the amount of bullshit throughout the game, but also because of these cool enough color palettes in the stages, and of course the music. So yeah, but I guess I sometimes forget that Sonic 1 doesn't have a spin dash, but let's be honest, all of us do, right? Yeah, okay, no one does. Okay, so surprisingly, and I guess not really surprisingly, Sonic 1 is still kicking Mario 1's ass. Okay, this is another short one to go through here. Mario 1's bosses are just nothing but Bowser fights, and they only slightly get harder as you get further into the game. While Sonic 1's bosses are different in every zone, but they aren't really the greatest bosses ever. Cool ideas though. But regardless, because Sonic 1 actually tried with bosses, this category goes to it. So like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a stupid category I made up last minute just to keep the 7 categories a tradition in these Wags' Game Wars here. And I'll repeat this again, you can flame me for it. So looking at Mario, it's a very typical progression. The higher the number is for a world, the harder it gets. Very, very standard stuff right there. Now Sonic 1 on the other hand is nothing but easy, then hard, back to easy, and then just for good measure another hard, then easy. This game feels like the zone order got randomly picked for no reason after an actual good zone order. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in one of my Sonic 1 videos. I'll link which one I mentioned it because I forgot. But anyways, I'm giving this waste of a category to Mario 1 just to make sure that Sonic 1 doesn't have a perfect game. So there you go, Sonic the Hedgehog wins! And that's actually pretty surprising for me. I always found Mario 1 to be better than Sonic 1 in my personal opinion. But I guess it makes a lot of sense now that I think of it when you look at these games pretty critically. But with that, I'll see you in the next one, and the one after that.